But let's also welcome someone who joins us very quickly. He is editor, African Liberty, Gideon Ajay Mawuto. Thank you so much, Mr. Mawuto, for joining us for the news this hour. Let's still take a look at Ghana and the elections, which holds just barely few hours from now. One of the primary concerns of Ghanaians as they prepare to elect a new president, and how do these concerns of the economy and not forgetting to the devaluation of the cedis, how would it affect the country's decision in choosing the president?
Thank you very much for having me. The economy is the main issue, I think, on the table of all the political parties going forward in this election. And it would actually be one of the things that is going to impact what voters are going to decide. Looking at what happened since the 2020 pandemic and then the high inflation that Ghana has incurred coming into 2024, there has been some apathy with some Ghanaians. However, the government's ability to try to stabilize and reduce inflation in this year alone is one of the reasons why I think that some Ghanaians may actually decide to go with Bawumia, the NPP, because they believe that they do have some works some things in the works to help resolve the issue. The argument from the NDC is that the reasons why inflation is probably high and the economy is not that strong is because of bad policies by the NDC. And so the NDC is trying to make a comeback to try and restore some semblance of normalcy to the claim. Yes.
Let's look at the tight race between the two major contenders. I'm talking of Mahamudu Bawumia and, of course, John Dramani Mahama. They will actually impact voter turnout and engagement. But do you think so? Do you think we're to expect a huge turnout or a large one? Or are we going to see voter apathy this time again?
I think we are going to see a large voter turnout this time round. I think what happened the last round in 2020 was a combination of COVID-19 restrictions and then some people not feeling motivated to vote. But this time around, I think the motivation is high. The two candidates have a large base, and we have seen just last night the last rallying call that they both did, and you can see that most people are actually coming out in their droves to vote this time around. So there will be much voter apathy this time around. There are a lot of issues on the ground that people would want to voice out with their votes.
What role do you believe social media and traditional media will play in actually shaping public opinion and, most importantly, influencing voting decisions in this election?
So when it comes to social media, I think the target audience is the young people, and that's where the difference is going to be made. Most young people spend most of their time on social media, and that's where they get their primary news. And so the issue of misinformation, disinformation is quite high on social media. However, traditional media has also tried to take some space on social media. So we have some traditional media platforms holding X spaces and for example. And so yes, the media space is going to play a big role and vital role in actually driving what is going to happen tomorrow in Ghana.
Anyway, in your opinion, finally, what are the most critical issues that the next president of Ghana needs to address? And how do you think they can actually effectively tackle these challenges?
Okay, first one would be the economy, which is the inflation. Whoever gets the ticket to become the next president would have to tackle that head on. Also, high unemployment among the young people. This is one thing that is on the heart of both political parties, and this is what they would have to also tackle. The idea is that we're moving into the fourth industrial revolution, and so there's high talks among both parties about digitalization and bringing in tech jobs and training young people so they can take advantage of this new ecosystem. Another thing would be education. This is also on the minds of most people. The current government NPP has installed the free SHS program. And so what would be needed going along would be how sustainable they can make this program and ways in which they can try and make it more effective and efficient. Currently, there has been some issues concerning how children in secondary schools are attend classes. Some spend few days, contact hours with teachers. And so we'll be looking forward to what policies and efficient ways that they can roll out the free SHS, because this program, I think, is welcomed by all Ghanaians. What more Ghanaians want is the efficiency of that program. Yeah. And that's what the political parties would have to tackle when they get in.
Okay. I know I had said finally, but I'd just like to chip in very quickly. Are there fears of vote buying? Because earlier on, there were indications that in the west and the northern part, ballot papers were indeed found way ahead before the election time. And we do understand that this was burnt in the presence of the NDC and, of course, the NPP with a few members of the other parties. So has this given rise to fears that there could be possibility of vote buying?
No, I would say that it hasn't risen to the height of that fear of vote buying. Of course, in the voting public mind, these issues do arise. But I think that the Electoral Commission has been able to alleviate all fears of that. Their communication has been strong on this, and so I think those fears are not really high. And so we are going to see a very strong belief in the electoral system.
All right. I want to say thank you so much for joining me here on News Now, and we look forward to have a peaceful election, most importantly, starting off today ahead of the big day tomorrow. Thanks for your time.
Thank you too.